Good morning, friends, and welcome back. I'm Mrs. Gordon, and I am so glad you are here with me today to learn new things. Today, we're going to talk about colors. Did you know that colors come in all different types of shades? Yes, there's just not purple or blue or red. There is different forms and shades of those colors. So we're going to compare those today from darkest to lightest. Do you have anything that you can compare? Maybe you can use paints today, or markers or crayons. So let's grab your materials and let's get started. The first color I want to compare from lightest to darkest is red. As you can see, these tablets are different shades of red. Let's grade them from lightest to darkest. This one looks lighter than this red. I'm going to put it here. When you compare these two reds, this one looks lighter. This one is lighter, this is darker. Let's see what our next lightest red is. This red is lighter than this red. I'm going to put this one next to this. It's still going from lightest to darkest. Does this red look lighter than this one? This one's lighter. Let's see our next red shade. This red looks darker than this one, so I would say this one's next. Let's compare it to this one. This red is still darker. It's still going from lightest to darkest. This red is lighter. It might look the same, but this one is actually lighter than this one. This one is darker. All of my reds are from lightest to darkest. Let's pick another color together. How about yellow? Did you know there are different shades of yellow? Yellow could be the color of the sun. Sometimes the sun looks orange as well. Let's compare them. This one looks like my lightest yellow. Do you think it's lighter than this one? They almost look the same, but this one is actually darker than this one. This is my lightest yellow. Is this yellow lighter than this one? This one is darker. This is my next lightest. Since I know this is the next lightest, let's see if it's lighter than this one. That yellow is darker. It's still going from lightest to darkest. Which shade is lighter? This one looks light. Let's compare it to this one. This shade is still lighter. Lightest to darkest. I have a few more yellow. They almost look the same. But this one is lighter than this one. This one is darker. This one is darker than this one. This is lightest. This is the next lightest. And dark. Lightest to darkest. What next color should we compare? Let's do blue. I like blue. There are all different types of shades of blue. Did you know that the sky is usually lighter? And sometimes an ocean or different water can be darker blue. Let's compare these from lightest to darkest. This one looks like the lightest. Let's compare it to this one. This one is lighter than this one. I'm going to put this here. Let's get our next one. Ooh, those almost look the same. But this is lighter, this is darker. Let's look at these two. This one's lighter and this one's darker. But I want to see if it's compared to this one, this shade of blue. That one is still lighter. Lightest to darkest. This blue is lighter than this one. This blue is lighter, this one's darker. It's still going from lightest to darkest. This blue is lighter. And darkest, lightest to darkest. Do you want to keep comparing colors with me? Let's do green. Look at all these different shades of green. Can you help me put them from lightest to darkest? This one is darker than this one, so this is the lightest green. Let's put it right there. Let's compare this one, this green, to this green. Does this one look lighter than this one? I think so. This is lighter, this is darker. What shade of green is next? This one is lighter. This one is darker. It's going from lightest to darkest. These greens almost look the same. But when I look at it, this one is lighter. Lighter, darker. These greens almost look the same too, but this one's darker than this green. It's still going from lightest to darkest. This green is darker than this one. This one is last because it's the darkest. Lightest to darkest. Let's do one more color together. How about purple? Look at all these different shades of purple. Let's put them from lightest to darkest. This purple looks lighter, but let me compare it to this one to make sure. Yes, this one is definitely the lightest. Lightest. Let's compare this purple to the other one. This one looks lighter than this one. This one is darker. So I'm going to put it next to the lightest one. It's going from lightest to darkest. Let's compare these two purples. These almost look the same, but this one is lighter. Lighter, darker. Let's compare these two. These almost look the same too, but this one is lighter. It's going from lightest to darkest. This purple's darker than this one. Let's compare these two. This one is lighter than this one. That means this one's darker. We put purple from lightest to darkest. The green is from lightest to darkest. And the blue is from lightest to darkest. The yellow is from lightest to darkest. And the red is from lightest to darkest. Did you put colors from lightest to darkest or from darkest to lightest? See if you can compare more colors. You did such amazing work today comparing colors from darkest to lightest. You even created them around the sun with me. I hope that you had fun today. Maybe you can mix paint colors. Remember, you can put white to make a color lighter, or mix black to make a color darker, or even you can mix some colors together to see what it changes into. I hope you had fun. Grab your nearest adult and do an activity today. Until next time, I wish you well.